Our film begins with a young woman named Bryn Adams. Bryn lives completely alone in a house far from any neighbors. She is a seamstress. She sews clothes to make a living. There's no family around her. Her mother passed away, and she doesn't have any friends. The people in her town dislike her deeply, though we don't know exactly why at first. Bryn isn't a bad person, but something happened in her past that she hasn't forgiven herself for. On an ordinary morning, Bryn is seen carefully packing some clothes. She needs to take a parcel to the post office that day. After finishing her chores, she prepares to leave. Before stepping out, she stops to admire a miniature model of her town that sits in her home. This tiny town model is very special to her. Bryn's mother started building it before she died, and Bryn has been completing it in her memory. A few small pieces are still missing, but she works on it with love. As she walks out into her yard, Bryn notices a strange circular mark on the lawn. It looks unnatural, and because Bryn is very careful about her home and garden, this worries her. However, she doesn't pay much attention since she's already running late. After quickly watering the plants, she leaves in her car. On her way to the town, we see how people treat her. Everyone avoids eye contact. No one wants to speak with her. Whenever Bryn passes by, people look at her with suspicion and coldness. She also avoids talking to anyone and prefers to stay in her own world. She stops at one point and tries to talk to a young man whom she secretly likes, but he completely ignores her, which hurts Bryn deeply. Disappointed, she continues on her way. After finishing at the post office, she visits her mother's grave. This shows us that Bryn doesn't like coming into town because people dislike her and she feels like she has no one left. While heading back to her car, Bryn spots the town chief and his wife panicking. She hides behind her car so they don't see her. Soon after, at home, she writes a letter to her childhood friend Ma. In this letter, she mentions seeing Ma's parents today, revealing to us that the town chief and his wife are Ma's parents. Bryn often writes letters to Ma but never sends them. We learn why Ma is no longer alive. 10 years ago, Ma died, and Bryn feels responsible for her death. Bryn still carries this guilt and has never forgiven herself. This tragic past is also why the entire town and especially Ma's parents hate her so much. Later, Bryn sits in her garden when a delivery truck arrives. She had been waiting for this package for weeks. Inside is the final piece for her miniature town model, a small school building. Bryn is overjoyed when she finally completes her little town. She dances happily and celebrates with a drink. But each time she remembers Ma, her joy fades, and she becomes sad again. In her letter, she writes that even after 10 years, she still can't forget Ma and can't forgive herself. At night, after dinner, Bryn goes to bed, but suddenly the camera shows us a mysterious aerial view slowly approaching her house. This is from someone or something else's perspective. While Bryn sleeps peacefully, the house lights start flickering strangely. She wakes up to loud noises and looks out the window only to find her trash cans scattered all over the yard. Bryn tries to turn on the lights, but they won't work. She carefully walks downstairs to check if everything is okay, but she freezes on the stairs when she sees that the front door is wide open. Before she can understand what's happening, she spots a shadow moving inside the house. Terrified, Bryn steps back and soon realizes that it isn't a human. It's an alien. Without making a sound, she runs to her bedroom and hides under the bed. The alien follows her all the way to her room, creating intense suspense. Under the bed, Bryn watches the alien from up close. It makes strange, eerie noises. Luckily, it doesn't seem to notice her and eventually leaves through the window, almost as if it's flying away. This moment makes it clear that the creature is far more advanced than humans, with powers beyond our imagination. After witnessing this, Bryn quickly shuts the window, but then she hears footsteps on the roof. Panicking, she runs downstairs to lock the front door. At that moment, all the lights in the house start flickering wildly. Terrified, Bryn tries to call the police, but the phone is dead. The alien is controlling the electricity and everything inside the house. It traps her by opening the fridge door, forcing her into a corner. As the alien comes closer, Bryn pushes it away and runs. Just then, there's a loud crash at the door, and a piece of wood hits her head, injuring her badly. Though hurt and shaken, Bryn doesn't lose consciousness. The alien was controlling everything in the house without even touching anything. Meanwhile, Bryn managed to grab a piece of wood. As the alien dragged her closer, she struck it hard on the head. The alien writhed in pain and finally died. Shocked and traumatized, Bryn spent the entire night sitting in front of its dead body, unable to move. The next morning, she pulled herself together. First, she covered the alien's body with a cloth. Then she tried to call for help again, but the phone and all the house's electrical systems were still destroyed. She thought about going to the police station, but her car wouldn't start. Noticing her bleeding head wound, she decided to take a shower and clean up first. After getting ready, she pushed a sofa against the broken front door to block it. Though she knew it wouldn't help much, she then left on her bicycle. While riding through town, she saw destruction everywhere. Even the house of the boy she liked was damaged. She noticed the same strange circular markings in multiple places, just like the one she had seen in her own yard. These marks clearly showed where the aliens had attacked, but the real question was, what did they want from humans? Although Bryn had killed one alien, the attacks hadn't stopped, proving there were many more. When she arrived at the police station, she ran into Ma's parents. Before Bryn could say anything, Ma's mother spat on her face. This showed just how deeply they hated her. Bryn realized no one would help her here, so she quietly left. She felt completely alone and hopeless, with no one to turn to. She decided to leave town and spotted a bus heading out, but things didn't go as planned. Suddenly, the delivery man she had seen before attacked her. The strange way he moved and the eerie noises he made it clear he was now controlled by the aliens. There was something strange crawling inside the delivery man's throat, and the sounds he made were exactly like an alien's. It wasn't just him. Everyone on the bus tried to attack Bryn too. Only the bus driver remained human, so he stopped the bus and gave Bryn a chance to escape. Bryn somehow managed to run away and reached a nearby church, but the door was locked. Next to the church was a graveyard, and she ran toward one particular grave, Ma's grave. At this point in the film, it's revealed clearly that Ma had died long ago. Until now, it was a mystery who Bryn had been writing letters to. Standing by Ma's grave, Bryn looked heartbroken. She was already terrified from the attacks the previous night, and now this moment made her feel even more alone and hopeless. Then she saw strange dark clouds forming in the sky, glowing with flashes of light. Bryn realized these were alien spacecrafts. Panicking, she ran toward the house of the boy she liked. There she heard people screaming and saw a group of townspeople standing with their hands raised toward the sky. She noticed the same weird worm-like thing moving in their throats, just like she saw in the delivery man. It became clear these were alien parasites that had taken control of the townspeople overnight. The aliens had spread and captured countless humans. They were turning not just the town but all of humanity on Earth into their own new colony. Bryn ran back to her house and went straight to the alien's dead body. She saw a strange liquid dripping from its mouth, as if something had crawled out. She tried to see what it was but couldn't find anything clear. At this point, Bryn realized there was no point in running anymore. She had to choose, fight or die. She took a deep breath to calm herself and started preparing her home for a final stand against the aliens. She lit several candles and began boiling water. She blocked the broken door with a sofa and some curtains, and kept a knife close for protection. That night, the nails she had hammered into the curtains started coming out on their own, a clear sign the aliens were back. First, they lifted the dead alien's body into the air and dragged it outside. Meanwhile, Bryn hid in the basement as another alien entered her house. The alien chased Bryn downstairs. She attacked it with scissors, but the alien easily threw them aside using its powers. During the struggle, Bryn's hand touched old photos of her childhood and Ma. The alien grabbed the photos too, curiously examining them. Taking advantage of the distraction, Bryn ran, but suddenly a smaller alien with long arms attacked her, blocking her escape. Bryn threw the boiling water at the alien. It didn't hurt the creature, but it gave her a chance to escape. She ran and locked herself inside the bathroom. However, the aliens started breaking down the bathroom door. Brynn tried to escape through the window, but the alien grabbed her by the legs. She fought back fiercely, hitting it with a broom and then stabbing it in the shoulder with a broken stick, pinning it against the wall. She then slammed the cabinet door into its face repeatedly until the alien finally died. These aliens seemed incredibly tough. Maybe that's why they needed human bodies to survive. But Brynn wasn't safe yet. Another alien appeared along with a man who was under alien control. The man grabbed her and dragged her outside. Brynn struggled hard but couldn't free herself. The alien signaled to a spaceship above, and a bright beam of light shone down, meant for Brynn. They wanted to take her because she had killed their companions and had become a serious threat. The controlled man tried to pull Brynn into the beam, but she kicked him away. He was sucked into the light instead. And since the beam was only meant for Brynn, the aliens quickly dropped him back to the ground halfway through. This clearly showed the aliens had come specifically to capture Brynn, who had now become a major problem for them. A huge alien now came forward to capture Brynn. She ran to her car, but the alien had already reached there. Using her quick thinking, Brynn trapped it inside the car and set it on fire. The alien screamed in pain and finally died. However, the bright beam from the spaceship was still chasing her. She managed to escape back to her house. Inside, another alien was already waiting, looking curiously at photos of Brynn and Ma. Brynn tried to attack this alien, but it was ready and threw her across the room. Suddenly, a strong red light filled the house, freezing her in place. She couldn't move at all. The alien approached and released a parasite from its mouth, the same kind they used to control humans. The parasite crawled into Brynn's mouth. Brynn then fell to the floor and found herself in what looked like a peaceful, normal version of her home. Everything seemed safe, and she believed it was all just a nightmare. She went downstairs and saw Ma standing there. Overjoyed, she apologized to her friend, but then she suddenly remembered Ma was dead. Brynn realized that this was all an illusion created by the parasite to fully take over her mind. Determined, she forced her fingers into her throat and pulled the parasite out, rejecting its control completely. As soon as Brynn spit out the parasite, she snapped back to reality. She threw it far away, but then a light from above shone on it. In seconds, the parasite transformed into a new body, a clone that looked exactly like Brynn. These aliens were creating human-like clones using the parasites, and these copies carried all the original person's memories. The Brynn clone suddenly attacked her with a knife. Brynn grabbed the knife and managed to stab her clone back, killing it. Severely injured and too weak to escape, Brynn was pulled up into the alien spaceship. Inside, a group of aliens surrounded her. One alien placed a finger on her forehead and began reading her memories. Through this, we finally learned the truth. As children, Brynn and Ma had an argument, and in a moment of anger, Brynn hit Ma on the head with a rock, killing her instantly. Ever since, Brynn had never forgiven herself. She kept writing letters to Ma asking for forgiveness and struggled for years to move forward but couldn't let go of her guilt. After seeing all her painful memories, the aliens understood Brynn's deep sorrow and regret. Instead of controlling her, they decided to let her go. They returned her to Earth without harming her. After this, Brynn finally forgave herself too. She started a new life in the town. Now, everyone in the town was under alien control, but they all treated her kindly and accepted her. Even the boy she once liked was now by her side. To Brynn, it didn't matter anymore that these people weren't truly human. Her world was finally the way she always wanted, peaceful and welcoming. In the sky, we see many alien ships, showing that Earth was now completely taken over, and maybe Brynn was the last true human left. Just as she had always dreamed, her world had become exactly as she imagined at the start. This story is really about guilt and self-forgiveness. Brynn was trapped by her own past mistake, accidentally killing her best friend Ma. The aliens represent her inner demons and guilt that kept haunting her. In the end, when she finally accepts and forgives herself, she finds peace, even if the world around her has completely changed. It's less about aliens and more about how hard it is to forgive yourself and truly move on. Now that you've seen how Bryn's world changed, what are your thoughts? Is this peace Bryn found real? Or is it just another version of the illusion the aliens created? Share your opinions in the comments.